Imagine waking up each morning, feeling calm, purposeful, and equipped to handle whatever the day throws at you. In today's fast-paced world, achieving this kind of clarity can feel out of reach. But what if ancient wisdom could guide us toward modern success? Stoicism, a philosophy over 2 millennia old, offers timeless principles that, when applied, can help us lead a life of intention, resilience, and inner peace. By adopting these simple habits, you can transform not only your mornings, but your entire approach to life. Let's explore 10 habits that will set the tone for a productive and fulfilling day, infused with the practical wisdom of the Stoics. Number 1. Begin with gratitude. Modern life often tempts us to focus on what's missing: the promotion we didn't get, the vacation we can't afford, or the milestones we haven't yet reached. But the Stoics remind us that happiness doesn't come from external possessions. It begins within. As Epictetus wisely noted, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Starting your day with gratitude rewires your mind to notice abundance instead of lack. Take a few minutes each morning to reflect on what you're thankful for. It doesn't have to be grandiose. Even small, simple things count. Perhaps it's the comfort of your bed, the warmth of your morning coffee, or the opportunities that lie ahead. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, and let those thoughts shape your mindset for the day. From a modern perspective, gratitude also boosts mental health. Studies in positive psychology confirm that expressing gratitude can increase happiness, reduce stress, and strengthen relationships. By beginning your day with this practice, you're not only aligning with Stoic principles, but also enhancing your emotional resilience. But gratitude isn't just about reflection, it's about action. As you move through your day, express appreciation to those around you. Say thank you to a colleague, acknowledge a friend's support, or simply smile at a stranger. Gratitude is contagious, and by practicing it consistently, you'll foster a more positive environment for yourself and others. Gratitude also helps you shift perspective during challenging times. Consider a frustrating commute or a demanding workday. In those moments, pause and ask yourself, what can I be grateful for right now? Maybe it's the opportunity to learn patience, or the fact that you have a job to commute to in the first place. This mental shift doesn't eliminate challenges, but reframes them in a way that builds resilience and optimism. Incorporating gratitude as a daily habit isn't complicated, but it requires consistency. Create a ritual, whether it's journaling, meditating, or simply pausing for reflection, that anchors your morning in appreciation. Over time, you'll notice a profound shift in how you approach not just your mornings, but your entire life. Number 2, focus on what you can control. Life often feels overwhelming because we expend energy worrying about things outside our control. Will the economy take a downturn? Will the traffic make us late? Will someone else's opinion of us change? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, advises, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine starting your day by mentally categorizing what's within your control and what isn't. For instance, you can control how you prepare for a meeting, but not how others will respond to your ideas. You can control your effort in a workout, but not the weather that might disrupt your outdoor plans. By focusing on what you can influence, you conserve energy for meaningful action. In the modern world, this principle can be applied to how we consume news and social media. Instead of spiraling into anxiety over global events, focus on what you can do locally or personally. Can you volunteer, donate, or advocate for change in your community? Redirecting your focus empowers you to take purposeful action rather than feel helpless. One practical application is to create a control journal. Each morning, list any worries or tasks on your mind. Then separate them into two columns, one for things you can control and one for things you cannot. For example, you can control how prepared you are for a presentation, but not the feedback you'll receive. You can control how you approach your health, but not the genetic factors influencing your body. Over time, this habit trains your mind to let go of unnecessary stress and channel your energy productively. Focusing on what you can control also creates a sense of freedom. You're no longer burdened by the illusion that you must fix everything. Instead, you recognize the power of intentional action. Even in challenging situations, like dealing with a difficult boss or navigating personal conflicts, this principle allows you to find peace in knowing you've done your part. Ultimately, this habit isn't about passivity, but empowerment. By letting go of the uncontrollable, you free up mental space to focus on your goals, relationships, and personal growth. Each morning becomes an opportunity to reaffirm this mindset, ensuring you start your day with clarity and purpose. Number 3, embrace discomfort. In a world obsessed with convenience, the Stoic principle of embracing discomfort might seem counterintuitive. Yet Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Growth happens outside your comfort zone, and intentionally facing challenges can prepare you for the inevitable hardships of life. Begin your day with a small act of discomfort. This could mean taking a cold shower, starting your workout early, or tackling your most dreaded task first. These practices, while seemingly minor, build mental toughness. The idea isn't to seek suffering for its own sake, but to train yourself to face discomfort with grace and resilience. In modern terms, this is akin to hardship inoculation. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you desensitize yourself to stress and build a reservoir of inner strength. For example, choosing to wake up earlier than usual helps you develop discipline. Opting for a challenging workout teaches you that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards are lasting. Additionally, embracing discomfort can make you appreciate life's simple pleasures. After a cold shower, the warmth of your clothes feels more satisfying. After a challenging workout, rest feels more earned. This paradox, that embracing discomfort can lead to greater comfort, is one of the profound truths of Stoicism. Modern Stoics can also apply this principle to mental challenges. Perhaps it's having a difficult conversation, trying something new, or pursuing a goal that scares you. Each act of courage, no matter how small, builds confidence and resilience. To make this a daily habit, start with manageable discomforts. If a cold shower feels too daunting, try ending your regular shower with 10 seconds of cold water. If waking up early is tough, shift your alarm back by just 5 minutes each day. The key is consistency. Small, repeated acts of discomfort gradually expand your capacity for resilience. Embracing discomfort also transforms your mindset toward challenges. Instead of avoiding difficulty, you begin to see it as an opportunity for growth. You stop fearing failure because you understand it's a natural part of improvement. Over time, this mental shift helps you approach life with greater courage and adaptability. By integrating discomfort into your mornings, you set the tone for a day where challenges are met with strength and perseverance. You'll find yourself better equipped to handle life's uncertainties, knowing that each difficulty is an opportunity to grow stronger. The habit of embracing discomfort doesn't just prepare you for the day ahead, it prepares you for life itself. Number 4. Practice mindfulness in action. In a world brimming with distractions, being fully present in the moment is a superpower. As Seneca observed, if a person doesn't know to which port they sail, no wind is favorable. To start your day effectively, it's essential to anchor yourself in mindfulness, cultivating a sense of intentionality and clarity for the tasks ahead. Mindfulness in action isn't about sitting cross-legged on a meditation mat for hours. It's about fully engaging in whatever you're doing. This can begin with your morning coffee. Instead of rushing to check emails or social media, take 5 minutes to savor the aroma, taste, and warmth of your drink. Notice how it feels in your hands and on your tongue. By doing this, you train your mind to focus on the present, rather than being consumed by worries about the future or regrets about the past. In practical terms, mindfulness can also involve creating a daily plan. Before diving into the chaos of the day, sit down and prioritize your tasks. Ask yourself, what is truly important today? By identifying your top priorities, you're aligning your actions with your values, a deeply Stoic practice. The Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature, and for us, that means aligning with our true purpose. Modern technology often pulls us away from mindfulness. Notifications, emails, and endless scrolling hijack our attention. To combat this, set specific times during the day to check your devices. Consider starting your day with an hour of being device-free. Use this time for reflective activities like journaling or exercise, or simply sit quietly and observe your thoughts. Mindfulness also applies to how you approach challenges. When stress arises, pause and breathe deeply. Remind yourself of Marcus Aurelius' advice. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This pause helps you respond to situations thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. To make mindfulness a habit, incorporate small rituals into your morning. It could be a gratitude journal, a 5-minute meditation, or simply focusing fully on your breakfast. These practices may seem minor, but over time, they cultivate a sense of presence that transforms how you engage with your day and your life. Number 5. Visualize the day ahead. Before the chaos of the day takes over, take a moment to visualize how you want it to unfold. Epictetus said, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Visualization isn't about wishful thinking. It's about mentally rehearsing your actions, challenges, and triumphs, so you can approach the day with clarity and focus. Imagine the key moments of your day. Picture yourself handling a difficult conversation with calm confidence, completing a challenging task with focus, or enjoying a productive meeting. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind to approach these moments with intention and resilience. It's akin to athletes visualizing their performance before a game, a technique proven to enhance outcomes. Modern neuroscience backs this practice. Studies show that visualization activates the same neural pathways as physically performing the activity, effectively priming your brain for success. For example, if you have a presentation, visualize yourself speaking clearly, answering questions confidently, and receiving positive feedback. By doing this, you reduce anxiety and increase your likelihood of success. To deepen this practice, write down your goals and intentions for the day. Start with the question, what do I want to accomplish today, and how do I want to show up? This process not only clarifies your priorities, but also helps you align your actions with your values. Visualization isn't about expecting everything to go perfectly. The Stoics practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils, where they imagined potential obstacles and how they would handle them. For instance, if you anticipate a challenging meeting, visualize how you'll remain calm and composed, even if things don't go as planned. This practice builds resilience and prepares you to face adversity with grace. By making visualization a morning habit, you create a mental roadmap for the day. This clarity reduces stress, enhances focus, and helps you approach challenges with a proactive mindset. As you move through your day, you'll find yourself better equipped to handle both successes and setbacks. Number 6, start small, stay consistent. Success isn't built on grand gestures. It's the result of small, consistent actions over time. As Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, observed, well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing. The key to lasting success lies in starting small and staying consistent. In the modern world, we're often tempted by the allure of quick fixes, whether it's crash diets, overnight business success, or viral fame. But true growth requires patience and persistence. Each morning, commit to one small action that aligns with your long-term goals. It could be writing 200 words for a project, exercising for 10 minutes, or spending 5 minutes meditating. These micro habits may seem insignificant, but they compound over time to create remarkable results. Consider the example of learning a new skill. If you dedicate just 15 minutes a day to practicing a language or learning an instrument, you'll make substantial progress over months and years. The Stoics understood that mastery isn't achieved in a single leap, but through steady, deliberate effort. Consistency also fosters self-discipline. When you show up every day, even in small ways, you build trust in yourself. You prove that you can keep commitments, which boosts your confidence and resilience. This self-discipline becomes a foundation for tackling bigger challenges. One way to ensure consistency is to create a habit tracker. Write down the small actions you want to take each day and check them off as you complete them. This simple system provides a sense of accomplishment and keeps you accountable. It's also important to celebrate small wins. Each time you complete a micro habit, acknowledge your progress. This reinforces the behavior and motivates you to continue. For example, if you're building a reading habit, celebrate completing a single chapter, rather than focusing on finishing the entire book. The Stoic principle of focusing on the process rather than the outcome is especially relevant here. As Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. By committing to small, consistent actions, you're embracing this philosophy and setting yourself up for long-term success. Number 7, accept imperfection. Perfection is an illusion that traps us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Epictetus wisely advised, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means embracing reality and finding peace in progress. Each morning, remind yourself that the day ahead won't be flawless. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and unexpected challenges. By accepting this up front, you free yourself from the frustration of unmet expectations. Instead, you approach the day with flexibility and resilience. In modern life, perfectionism often manifests as procrastination or burnout. We delay starting projects because we fear they won't meet our impossibly high standards. Or we push ourselves to exhaustion trying to achieve an ideal that doesn't exist. The Stoics teach us to focus on effort rather than perfection. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What you do now echoes in eternity." Your actions matter, even if they're not perfect. To practice this habit, start your day by setting realistic expectations for yourself. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. For example, if you're writing a report, focus on completing a draft rather than creating a polished final version. If you're exercising, focus on showing up rather than achieving a personal best. Accepting imperfection also applies to how we view others. People will make mistakes, miss deadlines, or fail to meet your expectations. Instead of reacting with frustration, practice empathy and patience. Remind yourself that imperfection is part of being human, for yourself and for others. By embracing imperfection, you create space for growth and creativity. Mistakes become opportunities to learn, rather than sources of shame. Challenges become chances to build resilience, rather than obstacles to success. Each morning, affirm to yourself, "I will do my best today, and my best is enough." Over time, this mindset transforms how you approach not only your mornings, but your entire life. You become more adaptable, more compassionate, and more at peace with the journey of self-improvement. The habit of accepting imperfection allows you to step away from the exhausting chase for unattainable ideals and focus on the beauty of progress. Number 8. Be kind to others. One of the simplest yet most profound ways to elevate your day is by practicing kindness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question. What fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I'm about to criticize?" This wisdom reminds us that kindness and empathy are not just virtues. They are tools for building stronger connections and reducing unnecessary conflict in our lives. Kindness begins with intention. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on how you can bring positivity to someone's day. This might mean sending an encouraging message to a colleague, being patient with a stranger, or simply smiling at someone you pass on the street. These small gestures create ripples of goodwill that not only brighten the lives of others, but also uplift your own spirit. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, it's easy to become reactive and judgmental. We may snap at someone who delays us or criticize others for their perceived shortcomings. However, Stoicism teaches us to pause and consider the broader perspective. When someone frustrates you, remind yourself of Marcus Aurelius's insight. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By choosing kindness over frustration, you take control of your emotional state and foster a more harmonious environment. Kindness also involves recognizing the shared humanity of those around you. Everyone you meet is carrying their own burdens, fighting battles you may not see. By practicing empathy and compassion, you contribute to a culture of understanding and support. This not only enhances your relationships, but also reinforces your sense of purpose and belonging. A practical way to integrate kindness into your routine is to set a daily kindness goal. Before you start your day, decide on one act of kindness you will perform. This could be as simple as offering a genuine compliment or as impactful as volunteering your time to help someone in need. These acts, no matter how small, have a cumulative effect on your sense of fulfillment and the positivity you bring to the world. Kindness doesn't just benefit others, it transforms you. Studies show that acts of kindness release endorphins, reduce stress, and boost overall happiness. From a Stoic perspective, practicing kindness aligns you with your higher self, strengthening your character and deepening your connection to the universal community. By starting your day with kindness, you set the tone for a day rooted in generosity, empathy, and mutual respect. You become a source of light in a world that often feels divided, embodying the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with others. Number 9. Reflect on mortality. Reflecting on mortality might seem like a somber way to start the day, but for the Stoics, it was a powerful practice for living fully. Seneca urged us, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." This practice, known as memento mori, remember that you will die, is not about fear, but about clarity and gratitude. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on the finite nature of life. This doesn't mean dwelling on death, but rather using it as a reminder to prioritize what truly matters. When you acknowledge that your time is limited, you become more intentional with how you spend it. The trivial concerns that often consume your energy, petty arguments, unnecessary worries, or superficial pursuits, fade in importance. Imagine starting your day with the question, "If this were my last day, how would I live it?" This doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities or indulging recklessly. Instead, it's about aligning your actions with your values. Would you spend more time with loved ones? Would you approach your work with greater purpose? Would you let go of grudges and focus on joy? Reflecting on mortality also sharpens your appreciation for the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Life's fragility makes each day a gift, and by recognizing this, you infuse your mornings with gratitude and purpose. To practice memento mori, consider journaling briefly about what you value most and how you can honor those values today. You might also carry a physical reminder, such as a coin or a piece of jewelry, to prompt reflection throughout the day. These small rituals keep you grounded in the reality that every moment is precious. Far from being morbid, reflecting on mortality enriches your life. It frees you from distractions, deepens your gratitude, and motivates you to live with integrity. By embracing this habit, you cultivate a life of meaning and purpose, a life worthy of the Stoic ideals. Number 10. End with a moment of reflection. The way you start your morning shapes your day, but the way you end it cements your progress. For the Stoics, reflection was a cornerstone of self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius frequently journaled about his thoughts and actions, asking himself, "What did I do wrong? What did I do right? What remains to be done?" This practice of daily reflection is as powerful now as it was in ancient Rome. Each morning, take a brief moment to envision your evening reflection. Imagine looking back on your day with satisfaction. What actions would make you proud? What challenges would you face with courage? This visualization helps you approach the day with greater intentionality, knowing that you'll later evaluate your choices. Incorporate reflection into your mornings by setting a clear intention for the day. For example, you might decide to practice patience, focus on a key goal, or bring kindness to your interactions. At the end of the day, revisit these intentions and evaluate your progress. This loop of intention and reflection creates a powerful feedback system for personal growth. Morning reflection also serves as a checkpoint for your emotional state. Are you starting the day with unresolved anger or anxiety? Acknowledge these feelings and set an intention to address them constructively. For example, If you're upset about a disagreement, plan to approach the person with empathy and seek resolution. If you're anxious about a task, break it into smaller steps and focus on the first one. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. This perspective not only starts your day with gratitude, but also aligns your actions with the values you hold most dear. By reflecting on the day ahead, you create a mental roadmap for living intentionally and authentically. The wisdom of Stoicism offers timeless tools for navigating modern life. By incorporating these habits into your mornings, you build a foundation for success, resilience, and inner peace. From practicing mindfulness to accepting imperfection, these practices guide you toward a life of intentionality and purpose. Remember, the goal is not perfection, but progress. As Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Each morning presents an opportunity to start anew, to align your actions with your values, and to grow into the best version of yourself. By beginning your day with kindness, reflection, and a focus on what truly matters, you transform not only your mornings, but your entire life. The Stoic path is one of continuous improvement, grounded in the understanding that true success lies in living a life of virtue, wisdom, and gratitude. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it to spread the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos on Stoic living and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and I wish you strength on your journey.